Have you ever gotten that text from a friend, someone you genuinely love that just says, "I'm coming over," and you feel this weird sense of dread? It's a feeling a lot of us have, but we hardly ever talk about it. So today, let's get into it.
I mean, really think about it. You get that notification. Your friend, who you would do anything for, is on their way. But does your heart just sink a little bit? If you're nodding right now, you are definitely not alone.
And this is the internal battle, isn't it? On the outside, you type back, "Yeah, sure, come by." You put on the welcoming voice. But inside, the honest-to-goodness thought is, well, there goes my peace. It's that exact clash we're going to unpack.
Okay, so to really get this feeling, we have to start with a huge idea. Your home is your sanctuary. For so many of us, it's not just some building we live in. It's so much more than that.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Home is where the performance of everyday life just stops. It's where you can finally take a deep breath, let your shoulders drop, and just exist without the world needing something from you.
You know, there's actually a psychological term for this. It's called territorial comfort. And it's all about that deep sense of safety and, this is the important part, control that you have in your own space. Your home is basically your emotional reset button.
Here's a really great way to picture what happens. Think of your mind as a perfectly calm pond. When a guest arrives, even a really welcome one, it's like a pebble gets dropped into that pond. It's not a bad thing, but the ripples, they instantly change the entire surface.
And those ripples, they're not just about your space being disrupted. They're about your energy. Which brings us to our next big idea. For a lot of us, hosting feels an awful lot like performing.
We kind of all have these two versions of ourselves, right? When we're out in the world, the social mask is on, we're polite, we're aware, we're on. But at home, when we're alone, that mask comes off. That's when we can truly relax, recharge, and just be ourselves.
So here's the kicker. The second a guest walks through that door, that mask you just took off, yep, it has to go right back on. All of a sudden, you're not just you anymore. You're a host. You're performing again, in the one place that's supposed to be your backstage.
And that emotional effort, it's subtle, but it is a constant drain on your energy. It's kind of like having an app running in the background on your phone, you know? Just quietly draining your battery. You might not notice it in the moment, but later, you're just wiped out.
Now this is where things get tricky, because a lot of people get judged for feeling this way. But the reality of what's happening on a psychological level is completely different from what it looks like on the outside. And here's the big paradox. It is often the warmest, kindest, most caring people who feel the biggest wave of relief the second that front door clicks shut. This isn't about being cold or mean. It's about something much deeper.
So yeah, the misconception is that these people are rude or antisocial, but the reality? They just have really strong emotional boundaries. It's not that they dislike their friends, not at all. They're just protecting the one space that keeps them feeling whole. It's not about being a bad host, it's about their home being a sanctuary, not a stage.
And this also explains why a lot of people like this would much rather meet you at a coffee shop or a park. It lets them be social, but it keeps their sanctuary safe. And you know, for some people, this goes way back to childhood, where having guests over meant a whole lot of stress and chaos. Which brings us to probably the most important point of this whole thing. Feeling this way is not a flaw in your character. It is a fundamental need. It's simply about protecting your peace.
Just let this quote sink in for a second. Silence feels like oxygen. For people who really get this, solitude isn't about being empty or lonely. It's essential. It is life-giving. It's literally what allows them to breathe. So if any of this is ringing true for you, I want you to hear this loud and clear. There is absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to protect your space. It's not selfish. It's self-preservation. And honestly, understanding this about yourself can make your friendships even stronger. So let's just wrap up with these key ideas. You can love people with your entire being and still crave solitude. You can be a deeply caring friend and still need to guard your peace fiercely. And for some of us, our truest, deepest comfort is just the quiet hum of our own thoughts. And I guess that leaves us with one final question to just sit with. After hearing all this, do you see yourself in this? Are you like this too?